Dear student, welcome back again in our today's session. So, as you can see that today we are going to talk about on the topic descriptive research. In previous lecture, we have already discussed about the concept of research, process of research, need of research, and the importance of research. So, in today's lecture, we will discuss about the descriptive research in detail. So, without further ado, let's start our today's topic. First, we will understand the meaning of descriptive research. What is descriptive research? So, basically, we talk about the descriptive research. Descriptive research is a type of research that aims to describe and summarize the characteristics of a population, phenomena, or a situation. Descriptive research is a type of research that describes a population, situation, or phenomena that is being studied. It focuses on answering the how, what, when, and where questions. If a research problem rather than the why. So, this is mainly because it is important to have a proper understanding of what a research problem is about before investigating why it exists in the first place. So we can say that it provides a snapshot of the current state of affairs without trying to explain why things are the way they are. Think of it like taking a picture. You are capturing what is happening right now without trying to change and influence it. So, descriptive research often involves collecting data through surveys, observations, and case studies. It helps answering questions like what is average age of our customers, or what are the most common symptoms of this disease. The goal is to provide a clear and accurate descriptions of the topic of the particular problem without trying to analyze or interrupt, just like interpretate it. So, this type of research is often used to identify the patterns, trends, and correlation, which can then be used as a starting point out for the further research. So, if we talk about the definition of descriptive research, so basically, descriptive research is defined as a research method that describes the characteristics of the population or phenomena that is being studied. These methodologies focus more on the what of the research subject rather than the why of the research subject. It basically focuses on the concept of what is going to be happen. Yeah, what is happening in that particular situation without analyze the situation. It only focuses on the concept of what rather than why of the research subject. So, now next we are going to discuss about the characteristics of descriptive research. So, the term descriptive research then refers to a research question, design of the research and data analysis that would be conducted on that topic. So here, few characteristics we have mentioned. Let's discuss one by one. The first one is uncontrolled variables. In descriptive research, none of the variables are influenced in any way. This use observational methods to conduct the research. Hence, the nature of the variables of their behavior is not in the hands of the researcher. That means in descriptive research, variables are not controlled or manipulated. Researchers don't try to change or influence the variable being studied. They simply observe and record what's happening naturally, like a fly on the wall. Now, the second one is objective and non-manipulative. If we talk about the characteristics of descriptive research, so the second one is objective and non-manipulative. Descriptive research focuses on describing the characteristics of population or phenomena without manipulating the situation, the environment. It observes and records the data as it occurs naturally. So we can say that the aim goal of descriptive research is to describe and summarize the situation, summarize the problem and the population phenomena. It is like taking a snapshot or painting a picture of what exists. Now, the next one is quantitative and qualitative data. This type of research can collect both qualitative and quantitative data. If we talk about quantitative data, so quantitative data might include measurement like age, income, and test scores, while qualitative data could not involve interviews, observation, and descriptions. So we can say that descriptive research can involve collecting data, numerical data like a quantitative, like numbers and statistics, and non-numerical data. It is also known as qualitative research like a text, image, and observation. Now, the next one is focused on what questions. That means descriptive research seeks to answer questions such as what is happening rather than why it is happening. So it provides a detailed account of the characteristics being studied. So in that situation, we can say that descriptive research tries to answer what questions, like what are the characteristics of the particular group or what is the current situation. It is about understanding the current state of affairs. Now, the next one is cross-sectional or longitudinal. If we talk about the characteristics of descriptive research, it's the most important characteristics of descriptive research. Descriptive studies can be a cross-sectional. Cross-sectional, that means collecting data at a single point in a time, or longitudinal. Longitudinal, that means collecting data over an extended period. So descriptive research can be either cross-sectional or longitudinal. Cross-sectional research is like taking a photo, while longitudinal research is like making a video. So these characteristics help researchers understanding and describe the world around them without trying to change or influence it. They provide the functional or further research and help answer important questions about our world. Now, next we are going to discuss about the data collection method in descriptive research. There are three methods of data collection in descriptive research. As you can see that here three methods are mentioned. The first one is survey method. The second one is observation method. And the last one is case studies. So let's discuss one by one. First, we will discuss about the observational method. The observational method is the most effective method to conduct the descriptive research, and both quantitative observation and qualitative observation are used in this research method. If we talk about the observational methods, so that this method involves watching and recording people's behavior, actions, or situation without interfering or influencing them. Researchers act like flies on the wall, taking notes and collecting data without being noticed. There are different types of methods like participant observation method, non-participants observation methods, etc. We can use this method according to the situation, according to the need of our research. Now, the second one is case study method. If we talk about the case study method, it's the most important method to collect the data for our research if we are going to conduct a descriptive research. So case studies involve in-depth research and study of individuals or groups. Case studies leads to a hypothesis and widen a further scope of studying a phenomena. So, however, case study should not be used to determine cause and effect, as they don't have a capacity to make accurate prediction, because there could be a bias on the part of the researcher. So, a case study involves in-depth examination of a single case, like an individual group or organization or event. Researchers collect the detailed data through the interview, observation, document, and other sources to gain a comprehensive understanding about the particular case, particular situation. Case studies help researchers to understand the complex issues and identify the pattern and solve them. Now, the last method is survey research. In survey research, respondent answers through surveys or questionnaires or polls. They are a popular market research tool to collect feedback from the respondents. In order for a survey to gather a good quality data, it should have a good survey questions, which should be a balanced mix of open-ended questionnaire and closed-ended questionnaire. So, survey involves collecting a data through questionnaire, interviews, or online polls. Researchers ask people questions about their attitude, beliefs, perceptions, behavior, or characteristics, and then analyze the responses. Surveys can be used to collect the data from a large number of people, making it possible to generalize the findings of surveys like a structured, unstructured questionnaire. So, these data collection methods help researchers to gather accurate and reliable data in descriptive research. They allow researchers to study pupil situation, issues, and phenomena in a natural and uncontrolled environment, providing a valuable insight into the world around us. So these are the methods you can use in their descriptive research. If you are going to conduct a descriptive research, you can use these methods according to the problem, according to the situation. Now, the next we are going to discuss about the steps in descriptive research. So the first one is selection of the problem. The first step is in descriptive research is selection of the problem. The second one is statement and definition of the problem. The third one is identification of data. Now the next one is sectional or development of tool. Now the next one is selection of the sample. After selection of the sample, the next step will be collection of data. After collection of data, the next step will be analysis and interpretation of data. And the last step is writing of the research report. So let's discuss each and every step in detail. So as you can see that the first step is selection of the problem. So the researcher may select the problem accordingly from the area or field in which he or she is interested. So in descriptive research, selecting a research problem is the first and very essential step in descriptive research. This involves identifying a topic or interest of gap in existing knowledge. The problem should be specific, relevant, and researchable within the available resources. So it often stems from personal interest, professional experience, or literature review. The researcher ensures the problem is significant and can contribute to the field of study. After selection of the problem, the next step will be the statement and definition of the problem. The researcher must state the problem very clearly, as it is done in case of other type of research. So, once the problem is selected, it must be clearly stated and defined. This step involves articulating the problem in precise manner. A well-defined problem statement outlines the research objective, questions, and the scope of the study. It provides a clear understanding of what the researcher aims to achieve and helps of formulating hypotheses or assumptions. So, after statement and definition of the problem, the next step will be the identification of data. So, the researcher has to specify whether the data are qualitative or quantitative nature and whether the data will be collected in the form of counts, test scores, response to questionnaires, interviews, and so on. So this step involves determine the type and source of data needed to address the research problem. Researchers identify whether they need qualitative data or quantitative data. They also decide on primary data or secondary data. So after identification of the data, Now the next step will be the development of tool. So the nature of the data to be collected helps the researcher to select the appropriate tools for the study. So if the ready-made tools are not available, the researcher has to develop his own tools. Questionnaire, interviews, schedules, case studies, psychological tests, rating skills, and attitude skills are the most frequently used tools for the descriptive research. So developing an appropriate tool for data collection is very essential. These tools can include the questionnaire, survey, checklist, and standardized test also. The choice of tool depends on the nature of data and the research objective. The tools must be reliable, proper development, ensure accurate and unbiased data collection. So after selection of development of tools, the next step will be selection of the sample. Researcher must select the sample about which he wishes to seek information using the appropriate sample techniques. The sample selected should adequately represent the population. So, researcher then select a sample from the target population. The sample should be representative to the ensure generalization of the findings. After selection of the sample, now the next step will be the collection of data. So in this step, the researcher will collect the data from the sample. The researcher should specify the practical schedule for gathering the data from the sample selected for the study with the help of appropriate tool. So in this step, data collection involves the systematically gathering information using the developed tools. Researcher must follow the ethical guidelines ensuring the informed consent and the confidentiality. They may use the various methods like surveys, interviews, schedule, checklist, rating scales according to the situation, according to the need of the problem. So accurate and consistent data collection is vital for the validity and reliability of the research finding. After collection of data, now the next step will be the analysis and interpretation of the data. In this step, the collected is quantified in the form of counts, test scores, responses, and to questionnaires, etc. So these are the analyzed and interpreted with the help of appropriate parametric or non-parametric statistical tests and qualitative techniques. So in this step, after collecting the data, the next step is to analyze and interpret the data. This involves organizing the data, using the statistical tools for quantitative data or qualitative data. Now, the next step is writing of the research report. This is the last step of descriptive research. The researcher should exercise extreme caution in generalizing conclusion and reporting them with all the limitation of the study. This is the final step is writing the research report. This document presents the entire research process, findings and conclusions. It includes sections like an introduction, literature review, methodology, result, discussions, and the conclusions. And the report should be very clear, concise, and well organized, providing a comprehensive understanding about the particular situation. Now, after discussing about the steps of descriptive research, now we are going to discuss about the advantages of descriptive research. So, as you can see that we have mentioned few advantages of descriptive research. The first one is data collection. Descriptive research can be conducted by using a specific methods like observational method, case study method, and survey method. So, we can say that descriptive research can be conducted by using different methods, like we can use a descriptive method and observational method, case study method, and survey method to conduct the descriptive research. Now, the next one is natural environment. Descriptive research allows for the research to be conducted in the natural environment of the respondent, and this ensures that high quality and honest data is collected. That means descriptive research observes people or phenomena in their natural settings without manipulating the environment or controlling the variables. This helps collect the authentic data unaffected by artificial setting or environment. Now, the second one is quick to conduct and cheap. As the sample size is generally large in descriptive research, the data collection is quick to conduct and is cheap. That means descriptive research is often faster and less expensive than the experimental research, because experimental research is more expensive rather than descriptive research. It involves observing or surveying existing situation, reducing the need for extensive resources or equipment. Now, the next one is firm spaces for decision making. That means as the data collected in descriptive research represents a large population and is robust, it is easy to make the decision on the basis of the statistical analysis of data. Descriptive research provides the valuable insight into current situation, helping inform decision making. By understanding what is happening, organizing, or individuals can make data-driven decisions. Now, the next advantage is detailed description. Descriptive research provides a comprehensive account of the subject being studied. That means descriptive research provides a rich, detailed descriptions of the phenomena, helping to identify patterns, trends, and behaviors. This depth of understanding can lead to new situation, to new insight and perspectives. Now, the last one is foundation for further research. That means it helps to identify patterns and trends that can inform further experimental research. Descriptive research lays the groundwork for further studies such as experimental or exploratory research. By understanding what is happening, researcher can identify the areas for further investigation or experimentation. Now, next we are going to discuss about the disadvantages of descriptive research. Some of the major disadvantages of descriptive research are given below. So, The first one is confidentiality. That means respondents are not always truthful. If questions are too personal or they feel that they are being watched, this may neglect the validity of the data. Halo effect. If the researcher observer has a potential bias towards the research topics or some respondents in the research, the observation then may be considered as invalid or untrue. That means descriptive research may involve collecting sensitive information which can be challenging to keep confidential. Participants to maybe hesitate to share the personal details, and researchers must ensure confidentiality if he or she is going to conduct the descriptive research. Now, the second one is sample is not representative. This is the most commonly for errors. We generally face these issues in descriptive research. So, due to the randomness of the sample, it is very tough to validate that the sample is an accurate representation of the whole population. Descriptive research often relies on convenience samples, which may not accurately represent the larger population. This can lead to bias or descriptive research can be sometimes biased due to the sample size is not representative. So this can lead to bias, limiting the generalization of the findings. Now, the last one is no scope to learn causes. Descriptive research only focus on what of an objective or phenomena, what is happening in that particular situation. It does not dwell into the why or how, and that is the limitation in learning the specific causes. So descriptive research only describes what is happening without exploring why it is happening. It does not establish cause and effect relationship, making it difficult to understand underlying factors or motivation. So these are the few disadvantages of descriptive research. Thank you.